Nationalism played an important role in the development of the United States in the 19th century, and the new country expanded rapidly in the years following its Revolutionary War. The U.S. government believed it was destined to rule the North American continent from sea to shining sea. After the Revolutionary War, Britain ceded to the United States the area west of the Appalachian Mountains to the Mississippi River, which almost doubled the size of the territory occupied by the 13 original colonies. And in 1803, French general and ruler Napoleon knew that he could not defend French territories from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains, so he chose instead to sell it and get some money for it. And so this was the Louisiana Purchase, and it doubled the size of the United States again. Meriwether Lewis and William Clark then mapped the new territory in the early 1800s, and then in 1845, Texas entered the Union, which forced a war between Mexico and the United States from 1845 to 1848. The United States eventually came out on top, and according to the Treaty of Hidalgo, the United States paid Mexico $15 million for Texas, California, and New Mexico. The 19th century became the era of manifest destiny for Americans who believed that it was their clear and obvious right to control all of North America, and some even discussed an American presence in Canada, Cuba, Latin America, and South America. Manifest destiny assumed that the democratic experiment in America was a superior form of civilization, and that the white people who brought it westward were superior to those people and the cultures that they replaced. So it was just another form of the white man's burden mentality. At the same time, although historically the United States had pursued a policy of isolationism going back to its founding, in the 19th century it became a world power that intruded often into international affairs. And the first example of that is the Monroe Doctrine, named after President Monroe. And what it did was effectively put the Western Hemisphere under U.S. domination, as President Monroe warned European nations against imperialist activity in the Western Hemisphere. In 1867, the purchase of Alaska again greatly increased U.S. territory in North America, while 1875, Hawaii actually became a U.S. protectorate. In 1893, a group of white planters overthrew the last Hawaiian queen, Liliuokalani, which I think I'm saying that right, with the help of the U.S. Minister to Hawaii, John Stevens, and a contingent of Marines from the USS Boston. Acting without the permission of the State Department, Stevens declared that Hawaii was a U.S. protectorate, and most Native Hawaiians strongly opposed this action. Some of them still do today. And although the next U.S. President, Grover Cleveland, strongly criticized Stevens in the overthrow of Queen Liliuokalani, Hawaii actually became a republic in 1894, and when rebellion erupted, many natives were arrested along with the Queen, and the United States actually annexed the islands in 1898. Those who subscribed to the U.S. doctrine of manifest destiny had always hinted at its desire to annex Cuba, one of the last remaining bastions of Spanish power. And when the U.S. battleship Maine exploded in Havana Harbor in 1898, the United States accused Spain of treachery, and the Spanish-American War began. In 1899, the United States defeated Spain, taking Cuba and Puerto Rico. Soon after, the United States took the Philippines and Guam from Spain as well. Now, Cuba became an independent republic, which was subject to control by the United States. And after this, the United States was really a world power. And the nations of Central America and the Caribbean, both dependent on foreign loans, often were threatened by foreign intervention when they couldn't repay their loans. And the United States intervened in Cuba 3 times during the 20th century. And during the same period, U.S. troops occupied the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Honduras, and Haiti. U.S. support for Panamanian independence led to the construction and opening of the Panama Canal in 1914.